Alright guys, we are on to a 2H60 series. Now this is a 1988 model 2H. What we've got going on is an oil leak on the actual oil cooler that's on the side of the block. There's an aluminium housing that bolts to the side of the block, and it's where the oil filter housing, so this is what the oil filter would normally bolt to. We've already got that off. That was leaking, but it's also actually leaking where that actually bolts onto, which is this big housing. Hang on, let me just turn the light on. That's better. Okay, so we've got that housing that's running there. You can see the bolt in the middle of it. That's where the oil filter would normally bolt to down there, and this housing goes all the way along right behind that diesel pump. Right in through there, you can see it, and it goes to the back of the motor. So that whole thing has to come off. Now to get that off, we've got to get the timing case off. Now to get the timing case off, I've got to get the fan off and the radiator out. So I've already started and I've got the air box out of it. That's just here on the bench. And only a couple of other little bits and pieces. And the other thing that was leaking on this vehicle was the oil, the sump, and that's already out and getting cleaned, so I've got to get that bolted back up soon. But I just thought I'd show this video of basically how to change that gasket, which means we've got to get this diesel pump out of the way. Alright, now that we've got the radiator out of the way, we've got a lot more access to the crank to get the harmonic balancer off, and then we'll be able to get the timing gear out of the way. And right behind that little part there is the front of the diesel pump. We've got to get that undone to be able to remove the diesel pump. Right, so what we had to do is actually put this large socket on the actual crank and then use the starter motor to turn the engine over to get the harmonic balancer nut or bolt to crack. Okay, here we are, getting the harmonic balancer off. I've got the puller on there. It's just a 3-point puller, 3 bolts into the harmonic balancer. And then it's just a matter of putting your ratchet on the right way around. So it winds out, winds the harmonic balancer off. And yep, that's coming off nice and easy. Sick. One thing I didn't say is make sure you've got your mark for top dead center lined up with where your mark is for top dead center down there before removing it. So then you know that your crank and everything's in line for your timing when it comes to actually pulling your pump off. And also putting it back together is the most important bit. Next bit that's actually got to come off is the power steering pump. We've got the other bolts out. This is the last one. This will just drop down and swing off the hoses there. Ah, got my finger caught. Sorry, that was bad filming. Hard to do that at the same time as while we're filming. Cool. Now it's just to get the timing case off and I can get to the pump. If you don't have a Milwaukee ratchet and you work as a mechanic, you need to get one of those ratchets. They are awesome. Right, now timing case is off. It's time to get into the front of it. Let's go with, we've actually got to get this timing piece here undone and remove that gear, and then I can undo the pump from the back, undo all the fittings for the pump and get that off. Alright, so that's as far as we got today. The diesel pump's still on. I haven't got to the side of it. So I'm going to try and do these videos as a bit of a daily update, try to do that. Sometimes it gets a bit too chaotic around here and I don't have time to do it. As you can see, I didn't get a lot done today because I'm constantly getting interrupted and phone calls and having to deal with reps and customers and everything going on. And I didn't start this until late this afternoon. So I will try and do daily updates on here because I'm wanting YouTube to really kick off. Let me know what you think of this. If you like this format, I will edit what we've seen today into when the job's finished and complete into one video. But I do want to use just basically daily footage to make these sort of short clips for everyone to just tune in and find out what's going on with Pokey's Mechanical. And we've got a lot of different things going on behind the scenes as well that you're going to get to see on here that you won't see on the other platforms that we socialise, use for social media. Yeah, all right, let me know what you think of these sort of videos. hopefully I can keep this going and get this actually active on here, and yeah, interact, leave comments down below, like it and all that sort of stuff to keep this happening and help us grow and build our social media to being a higher thing than what it is already. Cheers guys, thanks for tuning in.